So anybody who is coming into the Facebook community, welcome. Good morning. We are here live on Zoom. We are also on Facebook. If you actually want to interact with me this morning, jump on Zoom. Jump on Zoom. You could see the link there up top and you could start working with me. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning for those who are coming in, the participants who are coming into the Zoom space. I'm so excited to see everyone this morning and to work with everyone this morning. Good morning. Tag your friend, send them the link. Good morning, let's go. I'm back in my pajamas.
Peace and blessing. Good morning, family.
Good morning. Is that Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, beautiful. Yes, for the summer, I was wearing little outfits, but we back. Wake up, fall harvest, right? My pajamas is back. Welcome, everybody. Tag your friend. Wake your people up. It's time to wake up internally, wake up physically, wake up, everybody. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is that Adam? Good morning, Adam.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, good morning. Let's go. It is 7:01. You have enough time to go and get some paper, a pen, get your refreshments, some tea, get whatever you need, but you might want to really get your paper and pen. The reason why is because what's so important is that you really get this conversation so that this is it. This worth conversation lives in you from today forward. Tag your friend, tell the people, come on, jump on. Today is about, you are magic. Today is about your self-worth. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know who said that, but good morning. Facebook, if you're out there, jump on into the Zoom space. We welcome you. We love you. Good morning.
Peace and blessings, Meika. This is Abimbola.
Abimbola, good morning.
Great rising, Meika. It's Maureen.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Meika Z.
Good morning, Z. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let's get into these tunes. Wake up, everybody.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Meika, apparently we have a little bit of technical difficulty.
What's going on?
You're good now. We hear you. We couldn't hear you before, but we got you now. Meika, you went out again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So great. For those who don't know me, my name is Meika Joseph, and who I am is a thought healer. That's what I do for a living every single day, and I love it. Some people may say, what is a thought healer? So every single person has thoughts, and what we do, I do a one-on-one conversation, and we fine-tooth comb through those thoughts, the thoughts that are in the way of your self-worth, of your effectiveness, of your manifestations, all the thoughts that get in the way. We don't really deal with the thoughts that have you producing. We deal with the thoughts that have you not producing in your life and not have you full of joy and full of love. So that's what I do. And that's a little bit about me. For those who don't know me, I see Miss Merrill up there. Hi. So today's conversation is about self-worth. How many people are in the conversation about, I don't deserve it? So you might not be thinking like, oh, I don't really feel unworthy, right? But it might be a conversation more like, I'm not good enough. It's sneaky, this unworthiness, right? It's very sneaky. It has different flavors of it, right? And so we want to look at what is the conversation, and we want to distinguish it very clearly. What is the conversation that you're having around, I don't deserve it? I don't deserve that PhD. I don't deserve to be married. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to look good. I don't deserve my health. Like, what is going on? I want to hear from the people. I miss you all. And who's going to come up first and say, what is your I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it conversation? Let's go. Raise your hand. You can raise it in your chat. You can raise it physically. And John Call, it will call on you. Let's go. John Call, you see anybody? And you know, if you don't, just roll the dice. Let's go.
I love it, Meika. No one yet. I love how you jump right into it. You jumped right into it. But
we all got it. We all got it.
Yes. Come on, family. Who would like to speak about this? I know this is something I think about or have thought about in the past. And it is, you know, it's just like you said, it's something that's within us.
I don't deserve to be married, to be in a good functional relationship, to move or travel around the world. I can't do it. Right? That's why I said this unworthiness has different flavors of it. I can't do it could be also part of it. You know, like, see, I'm not TV. I know you're watching me, right? But this is a real interactive conversation. This is about you and me and us doing some physical work, which is physical is the conversation. Right. And so when people actually share, what opens up is for somebody else to actually get what's going on with them. You don't just share for yourself. It's a way to serve in this community, in this conversation, in this community. Teresa, I see Teresa's hand up.
Yes, I might not say those words, but my actions speak it loud and clear.
Thank you for being bold, and thank you for telling the truth. You know I love the truth, girl. That's right. Yeah. And so what is your action? What are your actions saying that's in that realm, that flavor?
Well, me believing in myself, you know, to like work as hard, like not work as hard, but, you know, there's things that I have on a fire that I have not been doing, like as far as my schooling and stuff. And when I was doing it, I did it, you know, I was doing it good and I was catching on. But lately,
so is that something you want? Sister yes. Teresa, you want to go back to school?
Yeah, I want to complete the courses that I started.
Okay, right. Yes. And so what is the thing that's having you not complete the courses?
I don't know. That's what I've been trying to figure out myself. I don't
know.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm afraid or something. Maybe I'm afraid. I think.
Fear is part of that flavor of unworthiness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so what are you afraid of?
What came to me was success. The success.
Nobody's afraid of success. I must have said this in session 2 when I was on. No one is afraid of success. No one. It's an illusion. What you're afraid of is being responsible
Okay.
for success. Because if you succeed, right, there's going to have to be some work put in consistently to keep that success and to grow it.
Okay.
Right? So you see this leaf right here?
Mm-hmm.
So I made a promise to my son that I won't buy plants. I mean, like a whole plant with roots anymore, because he called me a mass murderer of plants, right? Now, I could be responsible for flowers for some odd reason, because I can succeed at the longevity of their life. But when it comes to plants, they die, right? So I use this example because this is something I'm willing to be responsible for,
Mm-hmm.
right? The plants, I'm not necessarily responsible for. I'm not responsible for, so they die, right? So imagine an idea that you have or a thing that you want to do, and you're not responsible for it. How can it live?
We can't.
Right. So it's not that we're afraid of success. What we're afraid of is being responsible for that success. So
That
we
hits- that
we
hits
stay
me.
in our box.
That hits me. That hits me really like right deep in my belly.
Yeah. And so what happens is you have this thing that you want to go back to school, right? And you're calling it, I fear success. So now that we know that it's not the fear of success, what is it?
It's the fear of responsibility of me being responsible.
Okay.
And to do it.
Right. And to do it. And so why would you fear responsibility? Why would anybody fear responsibility?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think, why would I fear it? Well, it's a new place that I will be operating in. That's the one thing.
Did you see what Jacqueline said?
It's work.
It is. Pretty simple. It's work. And we don't want to do that work in that particular area. Well, but we still work. That's the whole crazy thing about it.
It's true.
We still work. We're still working even at our conversation about the fear. That's the mind still working. That's a lot of energy put into I can't, I'm not worth it. That's still work. You're still working.
Yes.
So do you know that the brain, right? When we are in worry, like when we are worried about this or worried about being good or worried about people's judgments and people's opinion, when we're worried about our children, when we're worried about whatever, right? When we're worried, do you know your brain thinks that it's actually doing something? Like it thinks that you're at work at something. So you notice how when you're in worry, how time goes by, and an hour could go by and it will escape you. It will, like, because you're so in worry. So your brain actually, and in your body, even though you could just be sitting, laying in your bed worrying, your body is actually acting like you're up, running, or doing something, even though you're not. That's how much energy is being put into that worry. So you're still working. You're just not being physical, but you are, but it's internal. So if we are conscious about it, we can actually do something about it. But one, you would have to choose that. That's the power of choice. You have to choose responsibility. And then you would have to choose, I don't want to be responsible. Just say that, Teresa. Unmute yourself and say, I don't want to be responsible.
Say that, but I don't want to be responsible.
How does that feel? Silly, right? How does that feel though?
That feels very low. Very low. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Right. And so we don't call out our bull snap. We don't call it out. We don't want to be corrected when somebody else calls it out. It's like if somebody was like, you don't want to be responsible. You'd be like, don't talk to me like that. You don't know what I got going on. Big defense, big tunes, defending yourself, right? Who do you think you are? So we don't want to be corrected, and we don't want people to call us out, and therefore we don't call ourselves out, and there's no action. I don't want to be responsible. It feels yucky. It's like, but it's the truth, right? And then the truth, that's why they say the truth will set you free, because now you're verbalizing the truth and you get to choose now. You heard yourself say it. You get to choose. I'm living this I don't want to be responsible life. Oh my God, this is the result of me not wanting to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? You got that, Teresa?
Yes, I feel that. I felt that very much so.
Good. Good. And keep saying it until it just feels like, you know what? I don't want that life.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw, I think Sophia.
We have a hand raised from Jacqueline.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk to Sophia and then I'll get to Queen Jacqueline. So what I saw your comment, but I wasn't able to like really capture it. What did you say?
I said, I felt that when she said, I don't want to be responsible 100% in myself.
You felt that in yourself.
Yeah.
And so what don't you want to be responsible for?
Thinking about this, I'm on the way to getting a promotion at work. I'm thinking about all of the work that comes with it.
Everybody snap for her. Okay. Get those coins.
I want it, and then I don't.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. You want the coins and you want the notoriety, but you don't want the work?
I don't want the responsibility. I don't mind working. I'm a hard
it's work. Responsibilities work.
It's the responsibility that comes with managing others.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is. And so I want you to feel the vibration of what you just said. Right? And I want you to say, I don't want to be responsible for others. Say it out loud.
I don't want to be responsible for others.
Say it like again, out loud.
I don't want to be responsible for others.
All right. So how does that feel in your body?
For some reason, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
The job is a management role. But I really don't want to be responsible for other people when they don't want to do their job. I guess I should be specific.
Right. And so I want you to get that you are not responsible for other people. You're responsible for your job, right? And so you might collapse it like, and then they have a responsibility for their job, right?
Right.
So your responsibility is not to the people, your responsibility is to the job that you actually went and applied for, which says that I want this, right? I
Right.
want this job, right?
Yep.
But there's an opinion about it called, if I take this job, I gotta be responsible for people. So it feels yucky,
Yeah, it does.
right? But are you responsible for people, or are you responsible for the job?
Mm. I guess I'm responsible for the job.
And they are responsible for their what?
Their part,
Their job.
their job. Yeah.
So what you're managing is not people, you're managing the job.
That makes sense when you said it like that. Because it feels like I'm managing people and that I have to cover when they don't produce.
Right. Feelings.
Yeah.
All about the feelings, right?
It's a small department, you know, so we worry about making sure that we can keep our budget and all of those things. So if we don't produce the right way, you know.
And that's about the job.
Right.
And so all you're managing is people's effectiveness, right, around the job, not people.
True.
I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible for the job that I signed up for, that I wanted and now have. Now, when I want to be responsible for another job, then I'll go and do that as well. But what you bring into that job, if you come into the job like, oh my God, I'm getting this promotion, but I don't want to be responsible for these people. What do you think you're manifesting? Because if you're the leader, you're the clearer. What do you think you're manifesting?
Right. That they won't do their part and that I won't trust them, which is not what I want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the beauty about leaders are not people to be followed, right? Leaders create leaders. So that even if you're the leader of the phones, I'm going to create you as a leader of the phones. That's what you do. You're a leader of the phones. You get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're about creating, don't follow me, right? How can you be the most optimal leader on the phones? Because I'm about managing the job, not managing you. You see the difference?
I do.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you got that.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. That's right, girl. Be worthy in that job. You deserve it. You applied for it. You got it. It's yours. Period.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Queen Jacqueline.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How
I mean,
are you?
Sophia just helped me just now because I was thinking about all of the obstacles I was putting in the way of my wish, which is to complete my dissertation.
Mhm.
So I got the breakthrough and I started working on it and everything. And then I have a group of girls I have a group of girls that I wanted to help with my, to finish. And I'm finding that I'm having trouble. They're ghosting me, some of them. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And these girls are not responding, da 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 da. And I had to pivot. I said, you know what? If I am unable to get this focus group together, I can still do the case study with the one girl who is responding because I have to get the work done. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get the work done and not worry about why these girls are ghosting and why they're not doing this or why they're not doing that. Because all that does is set me back. I'm worrying and I'm putting that as another obstacle to keep me from finishing what I know I can do without all of that.
There you go.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you. And that I'm complete.
There you go, because you're worth it. You deserve it. You put in the work, period. Right. So thank you, everyone. I love these shares and I love, what people are getting, and throw in the chat what you're getting out of this conversation, because this is really about taking the mystery out of this conversation of self-worth, right? It's no mystery. So I want you to think about I want you guys to throw in a chat that scary movie, right? That scared the holy hell out of you when you were a kid, right? I know it was Carrie for me. Like Carrie, I still got a problem. Like sometimes what's the other one? Damien. I forgot the name of the movie, but Damien was a scary one too. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, The Omen. Yes, thank you, Jacqueline. The Omen, right? There are certain movies, there are certain scary movies that have stuck with us to this day, right? And so I want you to think about all of those images, those people, right? Those scary people. And didn't it feel like in that Salem's Lot, Candy? Listen, I ain't gonna even say the rest of it. Candy, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna even put that other part to it. Yes, I'm not even watching the new version of it, right? There's so many scary entity, Hellraiser, all these different scary movies. And one of the things that they all had in common, right? Nightmare on Elm Street, yes, Freddy with that sweater. I don't want to see red and green together ever, other than Christmas. And so scary movies, what they have in common is that they felt like there was this entity that was in them, right? Like this thing, like this devilish thing. And I know the word entity, it has people feel a little uneasy, right? But we're gonna get into this word, entity. It felt like this entity was in them and it had to attack others, right? And so that's what we were really scared of, is like whatever that devilish function in in Buddhist belief, they believe in they don't believe in a devil, right? But a devilish function, which is a little different, right? And it felt like this devilish function was in them and they had to attack people. And that's what made us so frightened inside of ourselves. And then we live in this world and we see all kinds of wickedness, right? And it seems like, what is that devilish function that would have you do that? And so, this weekend, this past weekend and part of the week, I was in a silent retreat, right? And it was a lot for me to be in a silent retreat, especially that it was unexpected. I signed up for something and I had no idea silence was part of what I signed up for until I was in it. And I was like, what? And they were like, even if new clients call, don't answer. I was like, what? That's money. Like, I'm playing with my money. And so, it took something for me to be silent, but it was everything for that time that I was, because I started to see my agreements. I started to hear what I consent to, right? And I started to feel it as an entity, not as myself, right? So my disbelief or my consent in I'm not worthy, I started to collapse that. Just like I personify fear, like fear, you a liar. You were not my girlfriend, right? Like that supports you in seeing fear as a thing, not of you, right? It separates you from fear by calling fear out like it's somebody who is physically lying to you. Right? By seeing fear like no fear, you've never been there for me. You have never supported me in a positive way. You have never enlightened me and given me the fruits of love and joy. By just even saying that, you get to separate yourself from this thing and choose not to bring it into your life. Other than that, it feels like it's part of you. So when I started to hear for myself my own insecurities, and I started to hear from myself my undeservingness in certain areas, right? And I started to see like, wait a minute, I went all the way back to where it started, wherever I had that conversation, where it began. And what I discovered, and I made it up, was that that was a wounded opinion that I accepted from another. And so we're going to call this entity a wounded opinion. And so wounded opinions make wounded choices in real time, in action. So we look back on our lives and we say to ourselves like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, right? That was just a wounded choice that came from a wounded opinion. Do you get that? So I looked at my mom and I was like, I remember her very vividly. I think I shared this in this community, or I shared it in my classes. When my mom would walk me down the street, even as young as strolling me down the street, and people would say, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And she would say, don't tell her that. She would be like, don't tell her that. Don't tell her that. So growing up hearing that, right, I had an opinion about, wait, I must not, because here's my source saying, don't tell her that. So her opinion is that I'm not. And then I accepted whatever I made up. And you don't even have to make up. Somebody could have said that you're ugly. And then there is some acceptance, right? There had to be some acceptance from that opinion, even from your own wounded opinions. There has to be some level of acceptance that has you feel undeserving, unworthy, not good enough. So in order to have these emotions, there had to be some acceptance from a wounded opinion. So when I think about my mom saying, don't tell her that, my mom was sexually molested. So she has this beautiful little girl and she is fearful. So wouldn't that be her wound saying, don't tell her that? Not so much that it's about she's not pretty, but it's a wounded opinion. And we have built our lives off of accepting wounded opinions, whether they from others or even ourselves. So I just want to pause right here and just get in touch with the community just on wounded opinions. And so raise your hand if somebody this is opening up something for you around wounded opinions. And John, you can see who's
Yes, who's sharing in the chat. We have a comment from Terry, but I'm going to ask Terry to come on video off mute and expand on that comment. Share your comment that you put in the chat and then expand on it for us, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My comment was, I said, when you were talking about, and good morning, Meika and everybody else. My comment was that I get this. I see wounded opinions and my acceptance of them as parts of my past decisions. An example of that is because I have a physical challenge, I was always taught to wear a certain type of clothes that I would consider less than sensual, even though I have wanted to. So that has played out in what the decisions I make when I go in the store to buy things. Almost like I needed to hide my physical challenge instead of accentuate the parts of me that have not been impacted by it.
Right. So when you go in the store, you're like, what is the conversation? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what is it? If you were to come from, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it, I can't, like which one of those would be it when you're shopping for yourself?
I can't, that would be inappropriate for me to wear.
That's
Like,
a great one. Thank you, Terry, for that, because that's another way that these wounded opinions hide, right?
Mhm,
That's in the like I can't, that would be inappropriate for me.
right. Even though I will see it on other women and admire it and admire how it looks on them, I would say to myself, that's inappropriate for me.
Mm-hmm. So it has a flavor of I can't. And
I
so
can't.
like I'm not, and so what it translates is I'm not worth doing that. You get
Right.
that? And so
Yes.
that's from the wounded opinion of somebody, of yourself. You could have made it up, right? And then you accepted it.
Exactly. 100%. Because my partner now is trying to convince me that I do look nice in certain things and shorter dresses, and that
Mhm.
like he'll tell me, you have really pretty legs, Terry. And when I get to the store, I feel myself reaching for the pants, not necessarily the dresses, particularly when the dresses got shorter for a moment.
Mhm.
I would see them and they would look so pretty, but yet I would find myself gravitating toward the pants.
I got it. So do you get how your worth, right, has been predicated on the opinions of a wounded opinion?
Oh, 100%. And also, I am a survivor of assault. And what that left me with is that it's my responsibility to make sure that men stay in check.
Right. And so your worth is not about an opinion, right? It's like we think that if somebody acknowledges us, right, then it's like, oh, you feel a little worthwhile in that acknowledgement, right? Like, oh, they acknowledge me, I feel a little worthwhile. But if no one acknowledges you, then you don't feel worth, right? And so what we're trying to get to today is, we're out to get to today, is feeling worthy, whether you are acknowledged or there's an opinion or no opinion. So sit tight. Thank you, Terry. Is there somebody else this conversation is opening for? Thanks, Terry.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Mm-hmm. John Carl, do you see any other hands?
No, not at the time. No more shares at the time, but we can call on some people.
Yeah, I would like to call on Meryl.
Okay, Meryl.
Hi, Meika.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. So, beauty, what's opening up for you in this conversation about wounded opinions?
You know, thanks to you and a lot of other work that I've done, I see so much growth in myself. Like I see so much ease, and but I do know that I've had to look back and see that I grew up with a lot of criticism.
Right.
I grew up with a lot of criticism.
And where do you think that criticism came from? It came from their own wounds.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't look at it like that. You know, so when I look at my grandfather saying that, you know, red nail polish is for whores, right? That came from his mother wearing red nail polish and being spicy.
Yeah.
My great grandmother. Right. So in his mind, there's some wound there, right, about her spiciness and red nail polish. So he had 6 daughters. Nobody could wear red, right? And that translated onto the children. So you see how the wounded opinion goes back generations.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about just your ancestral line, right? Just as a woman, the wounded opinions of men and what they thought how you should be, shoulding you, or the women in your ancestral line, that also came from their own wounds. Where hence now, as you are growing up, Meryl, and the what era would you say that this affected you the most?
Probably like my late teens, early 20s, you know, when I was really trying to get myself out there in the world from all the criticism. You know, there was a lot of insecurity.
So those insecurities, how would that have you act out in real life? And what did it cause?
Oh, it caused me to pick the wrong men in my life.
Who else is there for that? I have picked some winners, not.
I have to say, I'm in a new relationship, and we had a conversation last night because he got out of a toxic relationship. I got out of a toxic relationship. And I don't know, I've done a lot of, you know, growth and development work, and I'm a little down the road than he is. And I just looked at him and I said, you and I are not used to this because it's just a little too healthy for us.
Right.
And he looked at me with these wide eyes and said, oh my God, that's so true.
And that's so great that
it's
you
like
bring that up.
It's uncomfortable.
That's so good that you bring that up, because you're stepping in your worth, and so is he. And you guys are out to have this delicious, functional, healthy relationship, and it feels uncomfortable. And when shit like that happens, normally what we do is sabotage.
Yep.
We start looking for the wound. So we start creating wounded opinions in our mind about each other, right? And going on attack, looking for woundedness, right? And then starting to attack each other in subtle ways until it's not so subtle anymore.
Yep.
Right? And so if you can interrupt that and say, oh my God, that's my wounded opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not choosing that. Remember, my work is about being out loud, not in here, not in here, not in here, not in here, out loud, out loud. That's why I had Teresa say, I don't want to be responsible. So you can feel what you're saying and what you're doing. And so to know, like, oh no, that's a wounded opinion. I'm not doing that to him. I'm not doing that to myself. I welcome in healthy, delicious love with this man. I welcome in healthy, delicious love with this man. Yeah. You see the difference? But only you can do that work. That's why I said in the beginning, people are not afraid to have success. That's an illusion. People are afraid of being responsible. And that responsibility takes that interruption. Nope, I already see it. And you can call it out. Like, sir, is that your wounded opinion you're putting on me, sir? Not today. Not today. Okay? You get that?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Take care. Thank you, Meryl. So when you start to look at the wounded opinion like an entity, you can see that that devilish function is not of you. That devilish function is not of you, right? So Teresa just wrote, I was told that I was stupid and I couldn't learn. And then there had to be some kind of acceptance, Teresa, that allows you, that you accepted that we all done it. We all have accepted other people's wounded opinion as though it was fact. And then we just perpetuated the wounded opinion, right? And how it looks and translates out in the world is, I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And that is the culprit that gets in the way of your success and your manifestations. That is the culprit, the acceptance of the wounded opinion. And so when you can release, I release all consent of acceptance of the wounded opinion. I release all consent of the acceptance of the wounded opinion. It's not just of other people's wounded opinion. You have created your own as well. And so I want to hear from some people about the wounded opinions they have accepted. Somebody I haven't heard from. And so I'm requesting you, there are 33 people, raise your hand. I'm not TV. I'm here to work with you. I'm not here to entertain you.
Well, Meika.
I see
can
Maury.
Oh, here we go. Come off mute, please.
Hi, Meika. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my love.
So, I have no idea what the answer to this question is, but I'm willing to play. So let's play.
Let's play.
I have no idea. So let me
That's
find
what I'm
out.
talking about, my bold leaders out here. So what is something, a wounded opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you have accepted?
A wounded opinion I have accepted. So what's been coming up for me a lot is where in this conversation, as I'm listening, and I thank you to Sapphire, who spoke earlier. She was definitely my whisperer earlier today. Where I experienced resistance. So I got a text yesterday from someone who I would be responsible to in my current role. And I got so annoyed by it because of the conversation you had earlier. And what came up for me was, I'm just tired of being seen, right? Like the being seen piece. Like sometimes I just want to be peaceful and hold on a second. I'm in my robe still. They asked you to put my video on. 1 second. Yeah, I am. So, right. So the being seen part, right? They put my video on. Hello, good night, right? How ironic. Yeah. So like that, what was coming up. So I guess the wounding around that. I have put myself out there, and there've been times where you get booed. And I'm like the booing, I have a resilience around the booing, but the consistent booing gets to be a bit much. And in my role, it's like a constant, like, fix this, fix this, fix this, fix this. What's this? How's it going? Right. And I'm clear around the bigness and the mattering of it, but it does get to me. So I guess there's something in the wounding around acceptance.
Well, the wounded opinion, there is always, in order for the wounded opinion to work, right? So the thing is one thing that I know about you, and this is something I actually know, for those who don't know, I actually know Maury personally, right? And so one of the things is your bigness, right? But you chose to be big.
Yes.
Right? You chose to have this big life and to be out in the world and to be big, right? Now, the boos are opinions about your bigness.
Yep.
Right. And so when it starts to get to you, it's because the only way it can get to you, right, is acceptance of the wounded opinion. Anybody who is not giving you coaching on something that's going to elevate you, right? Or expand you, then
I have a hard time.
Huh?
I have a hard time hearing it.
Right. So what that is because you're having a hard time hearing other people's woundedness.
Yes. 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 I'm tired of people. Like, fix your life. Please stop asking me to fix your life.
Right.
You know, yes, and that's how I hear it. That's how
Right.
I hear it as fix my life. And and to your point, like this is the job. Like, could you just do the job?
Right.
Like I'm not Iyanla right now. Like I just want to like do the job.
Right. Right. And so what there is, right, is to be responsible. And that's what I really got from doing the silent retreat, is that I had to be responsible for my space and distance, because I didn't know how to do that.
And so honestly, Meika, I had a conversation with a team member and she came with like a 6-page back-to-back like dissertation, single space. And when she flipped the page again and it was like more writing, and it was all about the past, like what had happened before I got into the position and how her current director treats her. And I think I was mean, and I didn't mean to be mean, but it was like, sis.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and I was like, I heard myself, and I was like, and I told her, I said, you know, on one hand, you're saying this, and on another hand, you're saying this, and you're not even clear. So how do you expect me to be clear? You're not clear with yourself. And I was like, that was unsolicited coaching that I landed on her, and her eyes got so big, and I was like, oh, I just did a Sagittarius blunt move on her and stabbed her in the chest, and I didn't mean to, but that was me also protecting me. You know?
Great. So stop there. So now what happens is that, right, when we have accepted somebody else's woundedness, right, then what we do is we begin to wound not only ourselves, but others. Mm-hmm. Right. So now because we have accepted this, that acceptance, we can't psychologically, unconsciously deal with it. So what do? We wound others. We like push it out and we begin to wound others. But that comes from the acceptance of somebody else's wound, right? And so there is a lack of responsibility in your heart for you and what you truly desire. Mm. And so that lack of responsibility is putting you in the position to accept other people's wounds, because you are not being responsible for what's here. And you know that.
Yes, received.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true.
So when we are not responsible for our true desires and we distract ourselves from that, what we tend to do is we collapse the world in our life, we become wounded, and then we wound, whether it's others or ourselves.
Right. And also that you're saying that masked in, let me help you see you.
Right.
Because that was the exchange yesterday. Like, you're coming to me with this, but let me help you. Here's a mirror, boo. Look at yourself. But I heard myself, and I also knew a part of it was, yeah, she gets to see herself, but the other side of it was, please stay away from me with this craziness.
Right.
I'm trying to my own. I can't.
So that's a good sign when you feel the sense to defend and protect. Right. What is that? What is that? Why do I feel the need? There's something I'm not being responsible for, because I'm in this position where I feel like I have to defend and protect and push you away. Right. And so you want to start to everybody, and thank you, Maury, for bringing that up about and telling the truth about you wounding her, because you know you did, right? Because there was some wound that you've accepted. Mm-hmm. And that takes courage to call yourself out and say that you did that. It takes courage to move past that. But you got to get to the root of the wound that you've accepted that has you not follow what's here. What is
that's helpful. Yeah. Because there are heart's desires that I do have that I act on in piecemeal, right? And what it creates is, and I do it. I do live the dream. I live a great life. Praise God.
I know you do. Mm-hmm.
Right? But there are short circuits because it's not consistent.
Right. Because there's some fear unworthy, I can't right now, there.
Conversation.
Right. Which I can't is a wounded opinion. I can't is a wounded opinion. Because you can do anything with structure, you can, and resources, you can do anything. And so there's something when I can't is I am not going to be responsible for that. I am not going to be, I can't is all it's saying, I'm not going to be responsible for that.
Received.
I'm not good.
No, I got it. No, you're right.
Mm-hmm. You got that?
And it's a conversation. Yeah, I get it. Yes, I get it. I hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, but what I'm taking away from this conversation is the heart's desire. I'm not quite clear what that path looks like, but I am walking away today like heart's desire.
Good.
Step one, heart's desire.
Good.
Walk in heart's desire.
Walk in heart's desire.
Right? It was the heart's desire.
Right.
So that will be that's a new raising of the standard.
Right. Right.
Right. Conversation with myself about how, like, I think again, high self-esteem, all that good stuff. Love me. Got it. Clear.
So what I would, Maury, I want to pause you and I want you to say, I'm worth my heart's desire.
I am worth my heart's desire. That's some power. That's powerful. So powerful. I am worth my heart's desire. Wow.
Say it again.
I am worth my heart's desire.
And how does that feel in your cells? How does that feel in your body?
I get teary about it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
That broke something. Yeah.
The connection.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm worth, because in these moments, I'm masking my heart's desire because I think I have to have the good government job. I'm clear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm clear. Thank you. Yes, I'm worth my heart's desire.
You are. You are. Only because you declare you are.
Yes.
There's no magic wand. There's no, I'm waiting for, this person to say I'm worthy. I'm waiting for it's your word. It's your declaration. It's no place to get to. It's not when I get the good job or when I get the husband, I'm worth it. Or it's the heart, I'm worth my heart's desire as a declaration, as the truth. That's it. So you're either going to be worth your heart's desire or be an acceptance of the wounded opinion. Two choices. You're either going to be, I'm worth my heart's desire, or I'm going to be acceptance of a wounded opinion.
I'm worth my heart's desire.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Magical Meika. My Magical Meika strikes again. Thank you. Love you. Thank you so much.
Love you more.
Right.
Love you more. Okay, let's go. You too. Let's go. What's opening up for you guys in this conversation?
Meika, I definitely feel that. And we are approaching the 8 o'clock hour.
8 o'clock. Yes. Yes. So everyone, for those who have to leave at 8, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. You can watch this, the rest of this, go to Wake Up Everybody on Facebook, watch it again, get this into your life, get this into the people, share it with people who are dealing with their worth. You can see it, you can feel it in them, they're suffering from it. So listen, we love you, 8 o'clock people who got to go, but we're about to roll into something else. I saw somebody's hand was up, Shanice I saw a hand up.
Meika, I would love to hear from some of the comments from Facebook. We have Kaisha, who's been very active there, and I asked Kenyofu to invite her to the Zoom space. She had mentioned that she said, wow, I needed to hear this particular example. And that was I'm not exactly sure what that example was because it was a couple minutes ago, but her second post, second share from her said, the ability to protect ourselves from others' wounded opinions. I have been in those positions where I have wounded women because I had to protect myself from their brokenness, which is interesting. I would love to hear more from Kaisha. Kaisha, please come to the Zoom space. I think there'd be a lot of value in your shares and what have come up for you. Yes, there was someone also. Oh, one more comment from Facebook before we go. This came from Candace Hopper, and Candace said, what about with family? When they consistently express themselves through their wounded opinion, I find myself wanting to protect myself from being misunderstood. And I relate with that deeply. And that came from Candace Harper on Facebook.
Right.
And we have a lot of support for your coaching, and the way this is expressed, the way it landed, I think is very beautiful. And
So
I don't remember whose hand was raised, but someone had raised a hand earlier.
I see, let me just address family, because, we all have family. And so, what came up for me is I'm a mother of 3 kings, and my kings have witnessed me in relationships with men, right? Where these men were not necessarily abusive physically, right? But you always got to watch subtleties, right? And so punishment by ignoring, by belittling in subtle ways, they've witnessed, those aspects, right? Like the unhealthy dynamics between men and women, right? And so I'm one of my sons decided or chose not to speak to me, right? Which is fine. And I saw myself during the silent retreat feeling angry and hurt that he's not speaking to me, right? And all the motherly expressions of like all that I've done, like what else can I do? Let me, figure out, and kind of like, I'm like walking over eggshells, right? To not hurt anybody's feelings. And as parents, we kind of do that with family. And, I don't want to hurt that person. And, like by saying something, so let me just be quiet. And, because I felt all of that coming up for me in the silent retreat. And then what I saw was my acceptance, my deep acceptance, and my ancestral line of accepting the women in my family, accepting punishment, not just the wounded opinion, but punishment. And I released that not just for myself, because I saw it that I will be the first person in my entire ancestral line that cuts that cord. That I will not accept punishment from any soul, anybody. Not that I have to protect myself anymore. I don't have to defend myself. I choose not to accept punishment, even from myself. And so I send punishment, I transmute that punishment into love. That punishment that's coming towards me, I don't have to do nothing about that. I transmute that energy that's coming towards me, I transmute that to love. Let love handle that. because the only thing that I am allowing into my space, only thing that I am allowing into my cells, into my body is divine love. That's it. If it's not of the frequency of love, then I release that. I choose to release that, and I transmute that energy into love. And that's going to have me make different choices, different ways of being for myself. So I had to get responsible for my acceptance of punishment. And so when things happen, bad things happen to me, you know, at least I think it's bad. A mug could drop and I'd be like, oh, that's my karma. That's my punishment, right? And so that erodes my worthiness, right? Oh, you know, this didn't work out. I didn't get this gig, or I didn't get this speaking engagement. That must be my karma because I did something. That acceptance of punishment. Divine love is not out to punish you, ever. Ever. So it's a big deal, right? When we accept the wounded opinion and we accept punishment. And once we accept it, it actually physically in real time has us make other wounded opinions towards others and ourselves once we accept it. But you got to get responsible for the acceptance of it in your life. Where is it in your life and where have you accepted it? And so with Maury, what she accepted was, oh, I'm not following what's in my heart because I can't. She's accepted I can't yet. I can't yet. One day, I can't, not now. You see that wounded opinion, it has many flavors of it. So that wounded opinion could be like, not now. That's another flavor of it. Not now. Then when? Not now, then when? So I see Kaisha is online. Kaisha, unmute yourself. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm gonna stay put because I'm in my office building, and so I don't want the service to drop. So thank you for taking my comment. I just want to
You're breaking up a lot.
Example. How's this?
You might need to go off video and just talk.
Oh, okay.
See how that works.
Okay. Okay, is that better?
Way better.
Okay, so I wanted to comment on Maury's example about to protect herself against other people, you know, shares. She pretty much just put the truth out there, and it was shocking, you know, to those other women. And I can relate to that because I felt just like Maury, you see it coming. You see that brokenness from the other women, and we're doing our work. You know, we're going to therapy, we're on Woo, we're reading, we're doing the work. And I felt from Maury's share, she just put out a nugget and it shocked that woman, and then Maury bit her.
It wasn't a nugget. It wasn't a nugget. Maury, she already declared it. She knew once it came out her mouth that she doesn't have one thing I know about Maury is she doesn't have a commitment to hurting or being mean to people. But it was her defense of the wound that actually had that land over there like that with that woman. Okay, then thank you for clearing that up. It was a defense. I've been in defense mode. Right. And it's been hurtful to other women. But I say now you are not looking at your own wounded opinion that you have accepted that has you even look. I'm on Wake Up. Everybody here got stuff going on with them in their life, and they bring it this way, but I don't have to defend myself against it. You understand what I'm saying? Even for personal friends, it's like you can see the wisdom. Like you can see, like if somebody is doing something to you out of their wounded opinion, you can see the wisdom of the intention. That's wisdom, because you can see, oh, they're intending to do something a little funky over here, right? But that does not have to get you out of your bubble of divine love, and you actually do it back. You get that? Because all that does is perpetuate the wound, which we've all done.
Yes, yes.
We have all settled into the belief systems. And let me explain something to y'all big time, that there are people making big money off of you not feeling like you deserve. There are people making big money. These wealthy people out here in the world, you think they feel like, unworthy? There are communities built off of unworthiness that people are making money off of. There are products, bleaching products, right? There are big money is being made off of you feeling like you are not worth it, or you don't deserve it. And so if you've accepted somebody's opinion that says, I'm not pretty, there's a whole makeup industry that's built off of that acceptance of that opinion. And I love me some makeup, right? So I'm not against makeup, but we all know as women, the depths of insecurities around being pretty. And so everything from like Stacey just said, magazines, it's all big money is being made from it. So we're wasting our time with, I want to be successful and I wanted this and I wanted that, not without you feeling worthy of it and deserving of it. So, Kaisha, you want to look for yourself where you've accepted the wounded opinion and have compassion for those who have not gotten to where you even are. Everybody ain't gonna wake up there. There's 33 people in here today. Not millions. Everybody's not in this conversation.
No matter how hard we try to pull people in here. Yes.
Everybody is not in this conversation. So this is a blessing that we are here together, all 33 of us, in this conversation right now. It is a blessing for free. For free.
So just to clarify, are you stating that we should probably think before we speak and, like you said, have compassion?
We might want to always think before we speak, right? Because the thing is that commitments are important, right? And so things get filtered through my commitments. They actually, the same way a wounded opinion has you act out your woundedness or somebody else's woundedness, is the same way your commitments will have you act out. There are people who are committed to people's demise. They're committed to their wounded opinion. They're committed to demonstrating wounded and creating even more wounded opinions on people, right? Now, if you are committed to love, then that's how you will speak. Everything will get filtered through that. That's how you express yourself for your person, for yourself, and for others, because that commitment is there. So that commitment is fueled by an intent, right? And so the reason why Maury was able to catch what I said was probably right, but it was a little shady. The reason why Maury was able to catch that is because she has a commitment for human beings. I know Maury's commitment for human beings and their transformation, and she loves people. So when she did that, she felt it went against her commitment. She felt it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people, I remember when this girl right here was low. I didn't have the wisdom, right? I remember being completely ignorant. I remember relying on impressing people because my worth was in their validation. I remember, it ain't that far. So I have compassion because I know that I had to have my progress, my process. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
So what are you getting from that?
You know, as you're speaking, like just like the last statement, I have to understand my progress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you're speaking, when we go back to protecting ourselves, just a quick example, when I see, you know, a friend going down the wrong way and I advise her, when I advise her not to go down that path, it's like I'm protecting myself because I know I got to be the one to pick her up when this doesn't work.
Who said that? Who said that?
I know, but that's the level, like you said, of commitment.
No.
You know?
Who said that? Who said that? No. Mm-mm. I gave you the advice. You bumped your head. Okay, great. Right? Bumping your head is important. By being a mom of boys, boys fall in all kinds of mysterious ways, interesting and in mysterious ways, right? But guess what? I couldn't protect them from everything. And once they fell in this mysterious, crazy way, right? My son actually walked through glass, you know, like the glass door. He thought it was clear and ran through it.
Mm.
He checks the door even he's an adult now, he's still checking doors because that pain taught him something. I'm not responsible for you. I'm not responsible for anybody here. I'm responsible for here. And so I share from here. I have a commitment for my own personal transformation, and I include you, but I'm not responsible for you.
Okay, thank you. That's another, with motherhood, that's another, but I'm gonna take that when my older daughter makes the decisions that she makes. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that piece.
I'm only a guide as to I can't parent adults, right? So I'm a guide, and they're gonna still fall. They're gonna still have bumps on their heads, right? And I'm not even responsible for my adult children.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for me and clearing up this. And the more I'm responsible for over here, it gives me the divine intelligence to actually advise, right? And it's not like I gotta like defend or protect. I'm learning that. Like it's more so about, okay, I'm gonna give that divine love right now. And I don't have the answers for everything. And so I'm learning to redirect because I don't have the answers for everything. I've said it on here tons of times. Trauma, the master of trauma, Shawnee. You're dealing with trauma, go to a master. Shawnee, I don't see myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the resource of everything. I'm clear on that. There are so many magical people here with so many magical powers of wisdom, tons of resources. It might be just telling somebody, find a resource that can support you, not you doing the work. It might be just find a resource. I don't know what that resource is, but find a resource. You get that?
Yes, yes, I do.
Awesome.
In more ways than one. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, John, what's going on in the chat? I see is like, all I see is pop-ups, pop-ups.
Yeah, there are a few things popping up, Meika, but I want to tell you, this is landing so beautiful on me. Getting so many pointers in how to guide myself, how to think, how to process, and many things that are already like the not responsible for adult children. You know, being an adult and how my father still tried to mold me, my mother still does. You know, so being able to release that and feeling the release of that, even as I say, take it for myself. So we have Terry Ruffin, who said, we are only 100% responsible for ourselves and our own actions. This is more than enough for me to do. And she is just making a confirmation of that. And Stacy said, pray for them. And I guess that's the other people in your life that you feel that responsibility for, just pray for them. And Jackie is just saying yes to Terry, right? Terry, LOL. I am a work in progress, as we all are, To go back up a bit, yes, the comments were coming. I want to tell you, I was totally in tune with the message and not so much into the comments. So as I go back up now, I'm looking at them. I can bring the comments back a little bit. We have a hand raised from Teresa. You can decide.
Teresa, you can unmute.
This conversation is really what I needed because I'm making some really deep, transitional part in my life. And I was talking to my son about it yesterday. And the things that I'm trying to do is that I was trying to work it around him. And he said to me, don't expect me to be, to be there, to be in this place that you want me to be. And Meika, I was not hurt by it. I was so shocked. And I could not believe that, I felt that good that he said, don't expect me to be there. And I was actually thinking that in my head already, that I need to, make my decision based on what was good for me. And it was like everybody's been in my business with all of the conversations. I love you, Meika. I thank you. I wish that whatever that you need, that everyone that's on it, they would get what they need, because this place is a place of healing. My prayer is that people will financially give to the Wake Up and to all of y'all and support you. It's like, that's my heart's desire for Wake Up, because y'all have changed my life. I'm a better woman because of it. And I just want to tell you, how much I appreciate you, sister. And all the ones. I love y'all.
And we appreciate you, Teresa. We appreciate your presence, your voice. You're here every day from day one. You are Wake Up. I always say this, and we have our sessions before the Wake Up starts, and we have our debrief after the Wake Up starts. And I always say that the guests, the participants, they are the show. I train some of the new facilitators that come on to Wake Up, and I always say it. I say, I know you are talented, but the guests are the show. You are it. And when you make them the show, then the show is popping, right? But when it's about just you, right, it's very different. And they get that, right? And so, this conversation about unworthiness, this conversation about I can't, I don't deserve it, not now, too many things in the way. We got to find the flavor of the acceptance of these wounded opinions. And then what we want to do is we want to cut that cord. I release any and all acceptance of the wounded opinion. You got to say that out loud. I release any and all acceptance. Any and all acceptance of the wounded opinion, because it's not just other wounded opinions that you've accepted. There's the wounded opinion of yourself that you've created and accepted as truth. And it's not. And so when you start to look at this wounded opinion like it is a entity that is not you, like it is Freddy Krueger, because you see how it starts to cause you to damage yourself and to damage others. That for me, the wounded opinion is Carrie. No, boo. You cannot be chilling up in here, okay? Burning up shit. Right? Nope, not today. So when you start to personify these things, instead of using them as feelings, I feel I can't. No, get it out of the feeling space and get it into it's an entity that is not of me. Not I feel I can't. I feel unworthy. No, unworthiness, it is not of me. It is an entity that I do not accept into my mind spirit. And so, Jacqueline, I see your hand up. Great, guys, I thank you. It's 8:25. I see it.
Hey, no, I've taken in everything that I've heard here today, and I've especially looked at the chat and was looking at what Terry Ruffin had to say about what happened to her in school, and I was horrified. I've heard many stories from a lot of my friends that I grew up with about things that happened to them in the classroom at the hands of teachers. I remember one incident that happened to myself. Anyone that's on here that is in the field of education and dealing with children, it's very important that you talk to these children and give them that positive outlook, because they come from situations where they're being told a lot of negative things. And they come in, and the minute a student would say to me, I can't, it would set, my mind would like explode inside. They didn't see it. I would calm down and I would just ask them, who told you that? Where did you get that idea from? Why do you say that? Because it does come from somewhere. And that one negative thing that you say will just destroy a whole bunch of positive. And you have to think about that with your children too. It just incenses me when I see that and I hear.
Well,
that.
Jacqueline, we're just in the beginning.
Yeah.
We're in the age of Aquarius right now, right? And so we're like turning into, instead of just being around accepting these dogmatic ways and behaviors that have happened for generations.
Right.
A teacher who would say something negative to a child, that's her wounded opinion that she's putting on a child. So now we want to develop and teach children how to not accept the wounded opinions.
Right. That's what
However, what's important is that there are corrections. And when we don't allow the corrections, right, we don't grow.
Right.
There's a huge difference. And so we don't even want to be corrected. Now, I have an amazing aunt who doesn't live by that. And I've had the privilege to, always be checked. Right. But I know her intention and her commitment is from love. So that I can feel the difference between criticism, which we accept, right? Like I shared with you guys about being criticized about pink and red, right? And I accepted that as a wounded opinion, right? Which made me make choices in my life. Now there are corrections, and my life is open now to corrections, right? Because I'm committed to growing. And so we want to teach children to accept corrections, right? So that they can grow and expand, and to not accept any woundedness, any wounded opinions, right? And bring it to their life and then wound others, because that's how it perpetuates.
That's true. I guess I'm just overly concerned with the public school system because that's where it come from. So I see it in teachers a lot. I've seen it happen.
That's why we got to do this work.
Yeah.
That's why we got to have teachers we have to have teachers in the spaces. We have to do more work in speaking to teachers, because they have our children who are going to rule the world one day, right? And so we want to start to interrupt these wounded opinions. And you're right, we have to start interrupting it in the school system.
Yeah, and it starts with the leadership also, because we do have a lot of women in the leadership roles in schools, and it always chafes my butt. I don't know how to say it any other way when
But
I
we got to heal them through love, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I'm out of the school system though, but I'll do it in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge that I'm putting out there to all you folks who are educators, social workers, or whatever that are dealing in that system, because you got that from the top down, and those poor kids are suffering as a result. That's just, that's my thing, and I'm complete.
We got it. Thank you. Adam, I see your hand is up.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Good
Meika.
morning.
I mean, what comes to my mind with this unwanted opinion is whenever a person or people come up with an unwanted opinion based on what somebody else is doing in terms of, trying to be themselves and try to, do better, to me, it's a cry for help.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's like they don't know how to express asking for help. So consequently, they develop this wounded opinion as a way of developing some kind of confidence about themselves, which is not sustainable because they're not really unfulfilled, and they don't know how to use their powers because they've been fed wounded opinions themselves in their own household.
Exactly. And so when we see people doing, thank you, Adam, when we see people doing terrible things and hurtful things, it's their effort to feel, it's actually honestly their effort to feel some sense of worth. It sounds backwards, but when you go into psychotherapy and you start to understand how schizophrenia and certain mental illnesses work, right? What scientists have discovered is how the brain works and what things you will try to do to feel worthwhile from that wound, right? And so we see people do heinous things, and we never think that even that heinous thing is an effort to feel some sense of worth. It's an backwards way of doing things, but it is what people do. So even kids being mean to another kid, right? And it worked. They think they got a little hit of, oh, I'm the man, or I did something. It's an ill attempt effort to feel some sort of sense of worth, right? And so we have to begin to understand our worth and see that we are worthy, whether we are rich, poor, whether we are in a hospital bed, we are worthy. We are worthy because we are here, period. And so you want to start to check all the ways that you try to get worthy or try to feel worthy, and stop and just accept you are. That's it. Through that acceptance, it will have you make new choices for your life and for your being and for others. Just accept it. You could accept all the bad stuff. Why can't you just accept that I'm worthy? Period. Because I'm here. I'm worthy because I'm here. Period. Well, it is 8:33. It has been an awesome conversation, and we will have this conversation. It's worth conversation again, because I know how deep it is. Okay. And we're going to still go to work at this, and we're going to still open up our hearts to our worthiness. Because what is this saying? What is your heart saying? And that you are worth your heart desires. That's the game that we're playing now. And so I say thank you to everyone who has participated and shared and just gave their life to me and their love. And I want to say thank you. So, yes. So my special offer is 2 participants will receive complimentary 45-minute coaching, and we're actually going to talk about this work thing. So it's going to be very specific. It's going to be about this. So I already picked number 11, and I'm going to pick 22. So John, you'll figure out who's number 22 and who's number 11. Next slide.
Well, we can go straight to number 11. 11 is Louise Calloway.
Of course it is. Louise, do you accept?
I was trying to unmute. Heck yes, I do.
Awesome.
I was just in the middle of typing that this whole conversation is just solidified for me, because my personal life has been an exercise in chaos, but I've been able to maintain my love for me and my happiness. So, this is great. Thank you.
Right on time, girl. Right on time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you have till Monday to claim it. Just reach out to me via email, Facebook, however you reach out to me. Okay. Yes, you do, girl.
And I do have a number 22 calculated right after I mentioned that. And that is Theodora M. Cross is number 22.
Theodora, do you accept? You would have to unmute. Okay, Theodora is not responding.
Okay, she's not responding, so right below Theodora. And should we pick another number? Pick another person?
17.
Say that one more time, Meika.
17.
17. Let's go back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 17, we have Shanice Sky.
Shanice, do you accept your free offer? 45 minutes coaching with Miss Meika.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. So right in front of you, you have my contact information. You can screenshot it. You can reach out to me through phone, Facebook, email, so you can accept your, we can schedule a date for our coaching session.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so here's my contact information.
I just have to say that I've been standing up here trying to get onto this. I prayed that I would be called. This is Theodora, and I'm on my phone trying to answer, and I could not. Something came up on top. I prayed to be the number that was called.
Wow. So you know what? It's divine that you won, and you still won. So you see my contact information. I'm still giving it to you, Theodora.
Thank you.
Your prayers are answered.
Hallelujah.
You're welcome. So just screenshot and get in touch with me, and then we'll schedule our coaching session. So that's 3.
Awesome. Meika, would you mind reading your contact verbally?
Sure. So my number is 929.
I was trying to get in my phone. How much do I owe you? Oh, wait a minute.
So you could, Theodora, you got to mute. So my contact information is my phone is 929-274-0274. You could Facebook me at Meika Joseph. Instagram, I mostly use Miss Meika, but you can also contact me through the Crystal Raven BK, and my email is meikaj74@gmail.com. So love offerings and donations. So love offerings and love is translated through money, is through expression. And so I love and receive anything that you give and you donate. And so I normally give all my love offerings and donations to the admin team as my contribution to them and what they do. And so I will continue to do that. And so you can Zelle, QuickPay, soleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com, Cash App, $spirit of a woman. And my code for today is hashtag 425MJ.
Awesome. And I will take it from here.
Sure.
Coming up on Sunday, family, we'd like for you to join us October 3rd, 2021 for the topic Mother to Son, facilitated by Xavier Beckwith. So come and join us on Sunday to hear the message that Xavier will be delivering to us. And for all the newcomers to Woo Nation, we welcome you. We thank you for being here with us. I've seen some new names that I'm not familiar with here. And I want you to share in the chat here in Zoom. Let us know that you are new. If it's your first day, your first week, or if you're just joined us for this month and you're going into the other months that are to come. Share in the chat that you're new, whether you're here in Zoom or Facebook, and our community would welcome you with love. Thank you so much for joining us. And keep coming back. Here's our schedule for you to see when you can join us. We're here live on Zoom, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for a 90-minute session, which is from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then on Monday and Wednesday, a 30-minute session from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. We're always streaming live on Facebook. You can get your Woo alerts by texting Woo Nation to the number 74121. I'm going to repeat that. Text Woo Nation to 74121. And you can get those reminders for when we're here. If you're out in the streets or home in your house, we have Woo Swag, mugs, t-shirts, water bottles, and sweatshirts. We'll invite you to join our community and support us by visiting bit.ly/Woo Swag. Let us know that you belong. Let us know you're here with us. Let others know that you are with us and share our message. Visit again, bit.ly/Woo Swag. Thank you so much, family. Stay in touch. There's several ways. You can register bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. You can find our Facebook group. You may be watching on the page, but join our private group at bit.ly/Woo Community. You can find us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, and we're on YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. Or you can send us an email, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And today I want to share with you that you can join our Woo team as a volunteer. Put your talents and abilities to good use. Click on the link in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or Zoom, there's a link there. And then again, for the email, info.wakeupseries@gmail, and one of our volunteer interest team members will contact you. Thank you so much, family, for joining us. I will now take the slide down and we can go in gallery view and shower Miss Meika with love. Love you,
Thank
family.
you, Meika.
Thank you,
Boo.
Meika, for the
Thank
great
you.
work.
Thank you,
Thank you, Meika. Thank you, Meika.
Love you, love you, love
Thank
you.
you, as usual.
Come on back.
Thank you,
Thank
Meika.
you, thank
Have a
you.
wonderful
Love
day.
you guys.
Thank
Great,
you,
great.
thank you,
Blessed day. Let's move forward,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, thank
Hey,
you.
Mwah.
Thank you, family.
Hey, Teresa.
You are
Love y'all.
Thank you.
you.
Let's move forward, everybody.
We got
For this empowering conversation.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you, admin team.
I
Thank you,
release
Thank you, Meika.
Mika.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody. And y'all have a blessed
Maurice.
I
day.
release it.
Thank
Y'all have a
you.
beautiful
And
day.
let's move
Love,
forward,
love, love.
everybody.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Kenyel, for your rock, your rock, your rock.
Thank
Yes,
you
baby.
for walking in
Woo Nation.
today.
Woo
Thank you
Nation,
for
love you.
empowering conversation. So empowering. Thank you.
You're
Yes. Peace and
welcome.
love.